Welcome back to the GSL. It's good to have you guys back here. I hope you enjoyed the interviews. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Kelly. Kelly, that second game was pretty excellent.
Yeah. The ZBT? With K-Pro?
Yeah.
Very excellent.
Yeah, that one. It was pretty sick. We managed to get Kelly's hair fixed. The makeup ladies kept giving Kelly the Bieber hairdo. So that whenever she turned her face to me, Kelly managed to disappear under her hair, which she has a lot of. So we got that fixed. I think the makeup ladies keep thinking you're gonna sit.
Yeah, they
where
keep
Dan
thinking
is.
I'm gonna sit here.
Because I spent like 30 minutes explaining to them. I'm like, no, they have to see your face. They have to see your face backstage. But they had our seating arrangement different. So we're gonna go on to our next set of games here. It's gonna be CoCa against AcE. Now don't be confused. CoCa was a StarCraft 1 pro from America in StarCraft 1. This is not the same CoCa here in StarCraft 2. This is actually Zenek's CoCa. He's a Zerg player in Korea. But for those of you who followed competitive international StarCraft 1, I'm sure there are a lot of you, or I'd like to believe that because I'm a StarCraft 1 competitive player before I went to a StarCraft 2. This is a different guy. AcE is, of course, from StarTale. He's a very good player, so we're going to have some ZVP. What do you think? How do you feel about that?
AcE, in the previous seasons, we see AcE with really strong early game.
Yeah.
But later on, as he transit, he kind of always loses during mid or late game.
Yeah.
But recently on ladder, he's been playing. I've seen some of his plays, and he doesn't have any problem anymore.
That's good.
It's gonna be a really good.
AcE is he was so solid, so solid.
CoCa is definitely the underdog here, though.
Yeah, I
CoCa
think
has
so.
less experience than AcE.
AcE, we didn't hear as much from before the team league, but man, the guy was just so good. Taking out more than enough of his share of players to kind of pull through. CoCa, we don't actually, even on our information sheet in front of us, we don't really have a ton to say about him, so we're going to be learning about this guy. Of course, we do have new players here in Code we haven't really seen before, as we do have a process for filtering them in. But the countdown started, so let's get ready for some ZVP action here. With CoCa against AcE, Zenix against StarTale, here at the GSL with Kelly and Tasteless, casting some Code games for you guys. On the map, Metalopolis. Tasteless trying to fill time. Korean cast are still talking. Game started. Feel bad. I always say the Korean cast are talking. Maybe I should stop doing that. Maybe I should get my act together. No, actually, I won't have to do. Well, game crashed. Gonna keep talking. Kelly, how are you enjoying? Oh, no. No,
it isn't.
Hold on. We're having some technical problems. Oh, my computer's going to be out. It's my computer's fault. It's my fault. We are actually going to start the game, though, so get ready. Over here in the bottom, the south, if you will, our Zerg player, CoCa. And now to our Protoss. Over here, on the far left, on the west side, we have
starting AcE.
Looking spiffy in his blue jacket.
Spiffy indeed. Staying warm in that booth. I think it's actually too warm right now to actually have a jacket like that on. But I guess that has some sponsors now that I say it. I'm still in that mode now that the weather's actually finally nice. I know we told you, Kelly, when you came out here that it was going to be very cold, and then right when you got here, the weather became nice. Yeah, it is definitely that kind of weather where it's changed so quickly. I end up putting my winter snowboarding jacket on only to go outside and realize it's kind of sunny.
Looks like the Protoss is going for a Forge opening over here. Something we haven't seen so far in Code A. So he might go for an expansion, and Forge opening is good. You can get a safe expansion. Otherwise, you can also be aggressive towards the Zerg so he can get his base up in time. Does have a goal in his hand, that Pro.
Now, on this map, you can fast expand. We normally see the 3 warp gate expand because the area is so open. By the way, Zergling speed. This is Zenek's CoCa. That is, of course, from the Team Zenith and the Team Next from merging together.
He's definitely going for a fast expansion over there.
Absolutely.
Going to be very secure with his Forge. But we have seen a few Zerg players react with very funky builds, such as early Banelings to just take down any gateway that is in front and just take down the fast expansion of the Protoss player. We have seen that. Recently, Zergs have been using more Baneling against Protosses instead of the usual Roach and Hydra.
Yeah, I gotta say, I just don't do this build on this map. Now, if you do this build, you can transition to a lot of different things. I think my favorite, since seeing the GSL Team League, and guys, if you're Protoss, I'd recommend you try this at home. Get that fast expand up, get the gases, make sure obviously you can defend. You usually need about 1 to 2 cannons to defend whatever they've got, as we see he's going to do here. Then what you want to do is you want to switch it up. You want to tech to a Stargate. Get 1 Void Ray, have that Void Ray go around killing Overlords or Zerglings and Xel'Naga watchtowers, not caverns, watchtowers. And after that, you get a Phoenix to scout, get a Robo, pump out Colossuses, make a second Stargate, and from those 2 Stargates, you just keep making Void Rays unless they're going muted, then you make Phoenix. And basically, you sit on 2 base until you have about 170 supply. Eventually, you're going to have additional minerals, so you make a bunch of gateways, make Stalkers, upgrade Blink, and of course, with the Forge, upgrading +1 attack, armor +2, +3. And you'll end up with so many Void Rays, you'll have about 5 Colossuses, because you really don't want to make more than 5 Colossus or 6 Colossus, because when you really think about it, that's just silly. They're not all going to be doing damage at once, they're going to be bumping into each other. And then you go ahead and you just do this push, double expanding, pushing towards the Zerg, and you usually melt whatever they have. And that is my very long-winded and detailed explanation of one of the many builds you can do, the one I prefer to use. And we see he is going to go for the Stargate. Let's see if he gets a Robo after this. One of my many builds I like to do on this map.
Zerg is actually doing all the right things at the moment. The moment he saw the fast expansion coming up from the Toss player, he knows that he's not in any immediate danger, and he's going for the Protoss is going for a first warrior right now. But early on, when the Zerg saw that there was a fast expansion, he went straight and drone up all the way. Xenix CoCa is definitely the underdog here because AcE has so much experience. And if you guys watched Hazen and Atos' cast of SIG games yesterday, you know that he has a lot of Zerg partners who practice with him in the AcE house, especially July.
Yeah, definitely July. July Zerg, by the way, eliminated MVP.
Going for Hydra before. So, such an early Hydra then from him.
Well, you know, it's you either go Hydras. I mean, you go Hydras, or you get an Evolution Chamber and a bunch of Queens. I mean, Hydras, you're going to get them anyways. And frankly, as a Protoss, I am much more scared of Void Rays than I am of Hydras. And here we see it looks like he's going to do the build I was talking about. Robotics Facility up next. And by the way, guys, the build that we're seeing, at least thus far, this is a solid build. I use this, I play Masters. I know they ask these questions, Ro32, sometimes. They are actually planted questions to help the noobs out. But you can definitely do this build. It's very strong. I wouldn't be surprised to be 2 bases for a long time. And there's the second Phoenix I was talking about.
We're going to see some harassments from the Toss player here, coming in with his Phoenix to scout and see what build the Zerg is going for. And that's right, Hazel takes care of all the noobs. He takes care of them. Sees a Hydra and a Queen though. He's going to be very happy.
Well, all he needs to do is see the third base, and that's what the whole point of getting the Phoenix out. And thank you, I do take care of the noobs. I got to play the noob role when Artosis in here, though. He's supposed to be the hyper analyst. I'm supposed to be more of the play-by-play kind of making sure people who don't play the game know. Well, but he's not here, so I'm going to have to do his thing. Now, he does get an Observer.
Seems like he's getting a Colossus up.
Yep, Colossus next. He has the extra minerals, so he does get those gateways. Now, we got to see if he'll get the second Stargate or not. If you want to be very aggressive earlier, which I don't prefer to do because I just find it, frankly, easier to sit on 2 bases and I still get the same raw strength for my push. I get the second Stargate. Let's see, though, what he does. +1 attack on the way.
Zerg player has his third base up pretty safely. You do see a couple of sentries and an observer already out on the field for the Toss player. Hydras are patrolling the main base of the Zerg at the moment. Evo Chamber almost up. Couple of Roaches and Hydras coming in. He's gonna prepare for the big push from the Protoss player. Already getting Thermal Lances, who is already getting Thermal Lances and getting Spire to prepare for the Colossus. So we'll probably be seeing some Corruptors. See a Roach, Hydra, Corruptor army, maybe going up against a Colossus, White Ray, Gateway army. The pretty standard Zerg versus Protoss build, but the Zerg really needs more production because Protoss' units are much more cost efficient.
Yeah, it's actually very true. Protoss can, if he wants to, try to just control the gold base. The problem for Protoss, though, well, I shouldn't say it's a problem. One of the concerns for Protoss is if you actually try to occupy gold, you're asking for the Zerg to attack you. So if you want to play a very passive game, you shouldn't do that. So he's doing a variation of the build I was talking about. He actually is going to just massive ground units off 5 gate. And we should be getting Blink, I believe, next. Let's see. What's it going to be? We don't know yet.
Most probably Blink. You should be right, Tasteless.
I should be right.
Most of the time.
I don't understand what the world is if I'm not right.
Looks like he's going for a third expansion.
Yeah. And
gonna attack and expand at the same time.
Zerg is just checking, and I like how he's using the Void Ray, by the way, to check the Zelnaga watchtowers to see if there's any Zerglings there. That way Zerg is sort of in the dark. Can't put an Overlord there.
Getting a Baning Mass.
We have seen with these guys that go Mass Stalker. I was talking to Artosis about this yesterday before he got sick and had to go home. But, you know, one thing about really good Protoss is that they get so many force fields you can never engage them, so you load up your Overlords and try to drop Banelings on them. And how on earth can a Protoss deal with that? Well, why wouldn't you just force build your own army? Split them up. That way the Banelings, when they're dropped, they can't just be dropped all in the right places. So I'm curious if that's something we're going to see as the game develops more and more.
Well, this warrior is scouting around, seeing if the Zerg is getting a 4th base. Doesn't see a 4th base. And Overlord is going to come in and have a look what is happening in the TOS base. Sees a number of gateways there. Know that the TOS is going to prepare for a push really soon. The Protoss is probably waiting for 3 Colossus to be up before he pushes. Corruptors are on their way. Another Overlord flying in. Not sure if that was a mistake.
Yeah, that was a bit peculiar. A lot of Corruptors. For those Zergs out there, be very careful how many Corruptors you get when you win the battle. If you win the battle and you kill up all the Colossuses, keep an eye on him. Check and see if he's going to keep on getting Colossus, because you don't need to make Corruptors otherwise unless you plan on transitioning into Broodlord.
Warrior is charging up.
You know, if he's not careful...
Under the Hagrid.
I was about to say, yeah, Zergs might have to cancel that.
Here he comes. Gonna try to take down a third
I don't know if Zerg should actually attack right now.
Yeah, it's kind of a bad position for him to attack because the sentries can actually make a lot of force fields and cut his army into half.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of cannons at the third base at the moment. Well, not a lot, but enough. Enough cannons to stop the Zerg. He's gonna go ahead for that 4th expansion. Has 2 Hydra protecting him at the moment. Getting an in-base hatch, which is good. In case his whole army gets taken out by the Protoss player, he needs to reproduce really fast.
If you guys want to know a really sick trick you can do, it doesn't look like we're going to see it this game. Load up just 1 or 2 of the Overlords up with Zerglings and select the rest of them, so you have about a dozen Overlords. You want to send those Overlords, all of them, into his main and start to unload those Zerglings. That's going to trigger the Protoss to send his whole army back into his main. Then you counterattack with your actual army into his expansion and you kill it.
You mean like trick the Protoss into thinking you are going to drop a lot of speedlings?
And you just fake it. Yeah, it's a really good trick.
Oh,
nice.
Colossus.
Takes it to Colossus. I think this is a very odd position for the Zerg to attack, though.
Gets his army cut into half.
Totally frank, I think this is the weirdest place Zerg could have attacked.
Oh, seems like he's doing a good job, though.
He is going to take all the Colossuses, but there are actually too many Corruptors. That is overkill with the Corruptors.
Cleans up all the Stalkers there at the natural of the Protoss at the moment. Guardian Shield going up. Gonna lose his whole army there.
This makes no sense. Sense of make have none.
Takes on the Forge and 1 gateway. Not sure if that was actually worth it. You're right, he had too much Corruptors.
It was definitely not worth it. Yeah, I mean, he just, I can't believe that. That was the most bizarre location to attack. You were literally been hit from, like, 3 sides. 3 out of 4. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what to say.
Maybe
totally
he didn't expect to be sandwiched that way. Because he kind of got sandwiched there. And TOS is already getting blinked, so he's going to be in a lot of trouble. His Corruptors are going to be useless soon. TOS is going to see, okay, he's going to load up his Overlords like you said, though. Let's see what he's going to do with it.
Well, it looks like he's just going to do a small drop. This isn't even going to be a fake, like, mass all-in drop.
He's gonna try to move in with his Overlord. AcE does see the couple of Overlords that are up front.
Now, we don't have, my computer isn't working for this game, guys, so I can't check and see if there's, what units are in there, but he could drop on top of the Stalkers. More Colossus on the way. I would have stopped making Colossus with this many Corruptors out. Zerg can, if he goes Overkill Corruptors, just switch into Broodlord. Here we see double-pronged attack.
He's gonna go in and try to drop the mineral line while he's gonna bring his army up front. Couple of Hydras and Roach moving in with Corruptors. I don't think his army is big enough to attack the Protoss at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this.
He's gonna make the Protoss pull back with the amount of Roaches. He's gonna drop Roaches into the main base. Has 3 Stalkers warping in. It's not gonna be enough to defend against his Roach army. The Toss sees the army up front though. He's thinking, okay, I only have one choice.
Oh man, Zerg should not even be trying to do that. Zerg needs to focus on actually taking the map and not on trying to kill the Protoss.
Colors gonna come and try to save as many probes as they can. Roach is actually doing quite a lot of damage at the moment.
Yeah,
needs to move his Overlord away. Is he gonna try to attack from the front? 3 Roaches are still inside the Tosser's base. Stalker's just blinking in and cleaning up the Roaches. I think he's gonna try to attack right now. Sentry Wall.
Oh my god, beautiful blink. Look, I mean, this is just... I don't mean to be overly critical here, but there's nothing that necessitates the Zerg doing this.
You should try to macro more.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't need to leave your base and do this, but
dropping Baymax onto the Stalkers. Not enough damage though.
No, yeah, I mean, I think it was actually Hydras, which doesn't make any sense either, because Hydras are the ones who want the bad. I thought there were going to be Baymax too, though. I mean, that was what would make sense.
I think the toss is actually might be able to win by this pure Stalker army, chasing after the Corruptors now. The Zerg definitely asked for this.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you get when you try to not play your race's role in the game.
He could have actually chose to expand because he was containing the Protoss a little bit, but he chose not to, and the toss is gonna come in. Gonna easily go on high ground.
Ooh, that was sexy. Ooh, ooh. It was so good.
Roaches are gonna be kited at this point of time.
You know the beauty of this, he can actually even blink out off the ramp and just go home too.
Yeah.
But see.
Well, that's just Protoss for you.
That's just Protoss. That's what they can do. Oh, you were the bad one that couldn't blink. He was the one that didn't blink right. He's stuck in there. He's got to stay after school. So.
Zerg could have done better earlier. I guess after he did a successful drop in the Protoss' main base, dropping those roaches and dropping the roaches and taking off the probes, he should have just backed off because he dealt enough damage at a point of time. But then he suicided his whole army, so when he was ahead, he actually got behind. Here's another drop. This roach drop is actually working out quite well for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Colossus.
At least down here, well, until the Overlords died. Blink! Do it! Nope, doesn't need to blink, I guess. Okay, this is good. This is a step in the right direction. Congo line of Stalkers. Look, getting their 4th base for the Protoss is where the hard part of the game is going to be. He cleans up the Nexus. He should just pick up and leave.
Is he going to pick them up?
No, he wanted too much, apparently. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to let all my guys die. Yeah, he should have killed the Nexus and left while Zerg expands again.
Well, the point of taking out the Tosser's base is not only to get him behind, but you have to expand at the same time when you're attacking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you have to keep your army alive too.
Yeah.
You get in there, you kill him, and then you leave.
Well, the Stalkers are gonna come now and go for the go base. Sees his 3 drones, they are there. Knows that there is go for sure. Stalker's gonna come in. Does the Roach have enough? He still wants to go for that drop. Look at that. Moves all his drones back. Here comes the Speedling trying to get a surround on the Stalkers. Stalkers have blink though. Roaches doesn't have enough army at the moment to attack. You got DPs on the field.
Actually, it's hard for me to tell. I don't know what's in the Overlords. But this is smart. Split up the Dark Templars. This is the exact thing you want to do end game here. Protoss versus Terran. Spread out your army. Get those Dark Templars over there. And I don't know if Zerg's aware that this is happening, but what about this drop? Baneling drop, that's how you do it.
Has a lot of roaches still left behind. He might be able to take this. There's a DT in his expansion though. Not sure if he actually knows that because he didn't migrate his drones.
Oh my god, yeah, he has no clue.
Loses all his drones.
Oh,
Here comes
this is
another
so
DT.
sad actually.
I
Because
think he's gonna try to go for a base trade though.
well, I don't think no. I think Zerg actually is unaware, or is just now discovered what's going on. I think Zerg is so focused on the battle we see right here.
Now he knows because the DT took down his Roach and Hydra army. Has an Overseer over there and a Queen. Couple of Roaches and Hydras coming in.
Well, oddly enough, Zerg is still in pretty good shape. Clearly, our Zerg has good macro. Yes. Well, did I say macro? That means you need to have drones. If the Zerg had kept all of his drones alive, this would be a very different game. Because Zerg played out the end battles here pretty well. But look, Protoss got in there with a few DTs. He killed out roughly every single drone at the 3 expansions Zerg had. And you can see Zerg is so preoccupied trying to recover from this. The Corruptors aren't even being moved. It's like, ow, ow.
The Zerg actually has a lot of gas in his bank at the moment. Loses all his Corruptors. Doesn't have... I mean, running on 2.5 expansion isn't going to be enough for him. Needs to really defend his Go expansion for sure. Do you think it's a good time for him to actually move out after he just lost his 4th expansion?
Well, I think he has to. Because it's either that or make drones and let the game go on. But Protoss' army is pretty small and kind of scrappy. But I probably would have, hold that thought. Now, oddly enough, Zerg still managed to crank out enough units. He didn't make any more drones, so this attack has to work. Now remember, Zerg's going to be very behind on drones. The only drones he has are on the gold base.
Warping 3 Overseer.
Oh, those are Overseers, excuse me. For some reason, I almost said Broodlord. That was a little bit silly of me.
Roaches take down the Nexus. There's a semi-drop coming over here. Sees at the main base is almost mined out. Colossus taking ranges on all the Roaches. Roaches doing a lot of damage to the Colossus at the moment. GG!
GG! Wow, so Zerg actually pulled through with that. I honestly feel like there was something we didn't see there from the Protoss. I don't have my preview screen up in my Artosis chair. So, I almost feel like either Protoss wasn't macroing right or he got supply blocked or something.
That was very weird.
Because it seemed to me like the Protoss should have been more ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was like this big attack and it
the
failed.
Zerg lost his army 2 times.
I mean, losing your army is pretty bad. To be totally blunt, as you guys know. And like, when he just... I don't understand.
And he didn't drone up after a while. He stopped droning.
Yeah, I know.
He only had full drones in the base, in his 3rd base and the goal.
Yeah.
And the toss came in and took almost all the drones in the goal base. And somehow the toss didn't pull through.
It was a very strange situation. There was some stuff we didn't see. I'm sorry, my computer wasn't working for some reason, so I wasn't able to check on some of that stuff. But my impression is that Protoss may have been macroing. Mm-hmm. It didn't look like his micro was up, but he just wasn't producing what it looked like he should have. He went a little bit too stalker heavy for a period of time.
Yeah, he definitely did.
I mean, stalkers are good, but you want to have sentries there. You want to have other stuff occupying.
He didn't have enough sentries because when you have Colossus, you really would like to break the Zerg army into half, or at least not let the Roaches get into your range. And he only had Stalkers and Colossus, which is not going to be enough.
Well, Stalkers are good because they're mobile, not just with blink, but they're just fast. Mm-hmm. They're just very quick. So, but that's just not enough. Yeah, they got their little doing this. They're just not fast enough.
I guess if he actually had more sentries, that would have been good.
What?
If he had more sentries.
Yeah, sentries are so good because you get the Guardian shield up, and that makes them so strong against the ranged attacks of Roaches and stuff.
And then if he manages to break the Zerg army with his Force Fuse.
Yeah, exactly. And then Zerg has to run with some. And, of course, on Metalopolis, those 2 locations where most of the skirmishes happen, there's 2 roadways that is pretty much a great place to engage at. Shouldn't have stayed so stalker heavy. Maybe miss macroed. Countdown's begun. Let's go for game number 2 here. with CoCa and AcE. AcE, again, great games from GSTL. CoCa, we don't know much about this guy, but he's looking pretty strong. Did take AcE down in that first game. Let's see if he can do it again here with Kelly and Tasteless here at the GSL. Get ready.